Okay, guys. Time we talked about the latest cybersecurity scare that's going around the internet at the moment, known as crack attack. So the crack attack, it's a bit of a big deal because it is a design flaw with our Wi-Fi networks. So when all the manufacturers got together, so the smartphone manufacturers, the laptop manufacturers, the routers, the people who make all sorts of things connected to the internet, to a wireless network, not the internet, the wireless network specifically, they decided on a standard. Now, the way this standard was designed has actually been broken in the last few days. So a couple of very, very smart security researchers have found a way to actually disable the encryption that keeps us safe on our wireless networks, Wi-Fi networks at home in particular. Now, let's see. Is this a big deal? Well, if you go and search for crack attack, you will see headlines like crack attacks defeat Wi-Fi security on most devices. Update every device. This crack hack kills your Wi-Fi privacy. Wi-Fi at risk from crack attacks. Here's what to do. You've also got breaking news, all that sort of thing. This is the crackattacks.com website itself. Also, what you should know about crack Wi-Fi security weakness. They've also got a little dummies set up for what a crack attack is. The hashtag crack attacks is trending quite strongly. Now, is it a big deal? Is it a real problem? Well, yeah, it's a design problem, and it affects pretty much every device that is compliant with the Wi-Fi standards. So, yeah, it's got the potential to be a really, really nasty thing. Practically, though, is it a big problem? Not really. In order for me as an attacker to get into a wireless network and execute this kind of crack attack, which will then violate all the encryption that's being used, I actually have to be within range. I have to walk up to, I'd say, within 30 to 40 meters of a decent wireless network and get onto it that way. And then what it does is that I would disrupt the network as an attacker, and then I'd tell the router and then also all the other devices connected to that router, hey, everything's broken, let's try and get that connection going again. I'm the new router, and here's the encryption key. I've got the keys to the way that the network is encrypted. Therefore, I can decrypt everything that's going over the wireless network. You would think that would be it. Now, there is something that's saving a lot of us at the moment. It's called HTTPS or SSL or Secure Sockets Layer. It is basically an encrypted website. So HTTPS, usually used by the likes of Facebook, Twitter, Outlook.com, Gmail, all the Google stuff is HTTPS if it's got important or sensitive information on it. You only really have to worry about sites that don't employ encryption. So yes, it affects a lot of devices. Does it affect a lot of services? Not really. What can we do about it? Well, we should fix this, and the manufacturers are moving on it right now as we speak. Actually, there's a list of manufacturers right now that I'll put down in the notes or the comments that you can check to see if you have a device that is compromised. If it's compromised, and it probably is, you should make sure that you get the latest firmware updates or the latest software updates installed on that device, because fortunately, it's all software. It's a software problem, so it's a software fix. We don't have to go down and buy any new devices. The only case we'd have to do that is if the device we're using is too old, it's no longer supported with firmware updates, then we have to go and get a device that is actually supported, has firmware updates, and we make sure that that's safe as well. It affects everything that uses Wi-Fi, so that's your Wi-Fi routers, your mobile phones that use wireless networks either at home or work, laptops, desktop computers, printers, smart TVs, Apple TVs, Chromecasts, home theater systems, process control systems, even things like the good old Philips Hue or any other smart light bulbs, security cameras, baby monitoring cameras that are connected to your network. All of these things are potentially at risk. just get the firmware updates applied, and you should be okay. Is this the biggest thing we should be worrying about today when it comes to cybersecurity? Absolutely not. This comes way down the list when it comes to security problems. We should be really looking at other things like having strong password policies, not reusing passwords, having two-factor authentication, just being careful about what emails we open. Don't go clicking on those really clickbaity, those really tempting stories you might see on social media. It's really down to our own behavior and how we keep ourselves safe. And if you want to know more, just please get in touch with me. You'll find me all over the internet. Just search for Ben Aylett in Google and you'll find all my contact details there. You'll find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+. I think I'm one of the few people on that. And you'll find me all over the place. Just track me down. If you've got a question, please ask it. If you need some help, please ask. I'm only too happy to help you, whether you're in Australia or across the world. I'm able to help anyone, anywhere, just about any time, as long as I'm not trying to sleep. Okay, so there you have it. Crack attack. Is it a really big deal? Probably not. We actually have a lot of other things we should be worrying about first. And as always, myself and a lot of other people like me around the world are only too willing to help, because if we can protect you, we're actually protecting ourselves at the same time. Until then, guys, stay safe, don't click on dumb things, and I'll catch you all later. Feel free to ask questions, always available. Catch you later.